The government is releasing real military footage of what it calls UAPs. One object appears to survive a missile strike, another is completely destroyed by one. And this bizarre, almost organic-looking object was filmed over the Atlantic. This isn't just another unexplained light in the sky. We're looking at technology that appears far more advanced than anything publicly known. The real question is, who made it and where did it come from? So today we're going to be going over more UFO videos that were recently just released. So
very good.
This first one we're going to take a look at is a orb that appears to survive a missile strike. And this one was released about a year ago, or less than a year ago. It was September of last year. And it was recorded in 2024. And this is off the coast of Yemen. So there you can see it flying over the ocean at very fast speeds, obviously. And there they shot it with a Hellfire missile, and it's still going. It didn't knock it out of the sky.
It split into a few little pieces, it looks like.
I think those few other pieces were there already beforehand.
Maybe that was the missile, too, huh?
No, because you can see the pieces still. You can barely see them here, but they're still flying alongside it. So the military shot it with a missile, and it didn't explode, or it just bounced off.
Okay.
So this is clearly technology that's very advanced, that even a missile hitting it while flying isn't going to stop it.
I don't even know what to say about that, but it's certainly concerning.
It's interesting, for sure. This is technology that has to be outside of what thought possible before. To be hit by a missile like that, and, well, I mean, obviously, you can already tell it doesn't have a propulsion device coming off of it. So it's already technology that we couldn't imagine. But it's flying, and it gets hit, and it moves with it. It's a physical object.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely physical.
Let's take a look at it again. It almost looks like it is dented or something. Maybe it does break apart. I think you're right. It does split into pieces afterwards.
But it's still moving.
Those pieces are still moving.
It's almost like the object can withstand some kind of impact, break into pieces, and still be
flying
okay
the direction
in pieces.
So it's like there's no engine in it, because if there's an engine or some sort of anti-gravity mechanic inside of it, those pieces that broke off aren't going to fly with it.
Yeah. So that's really unusual.
That's a wild one. So let's take a look at another video we have here. Now, this one is recorded in 2023, and it was released just in May of this year, May 22nd of this year. And it's over a Lake Huron, which is, I don't know exactly where that is. We can take a look later, and I can add that in. And this is a F-16 fighter jet that engages with it.
Is this part of the government disclosure thing?
Well, it was released in May 22nd this year. So I don't know if that's before it.
I don't know.
But the next one we're going to look at is.
Okay.
So here's another.
Looks like it has a tail.
It does. And
Whoa.
I don't know what they hit it with, but it explodes like crazy.
Yeah.
This one does not survive the missile. But there's still something there. So it's like one part of it did, maybe since it's so zoomed in, it acted the same way that the other one did, and it blew up into pieces, but the pieces kept flying by themselves. But since it actually blew up, they're much farther out of the camera angle. So maybe if it zoomed out, there would have been more flying in the same direction, but at least one thing survived and was flying away from it.
I'd be really careful about blowing up one of these things when obviously their technology is far advanced.
More advanced.
Yeah.
Yes. So actually, that kind of leads into one of the questions: is why would the military shoot things down that they genuinely have no idea what it is?
Or maybe they do know.
And if they do know, why would they be? Either way, the question still stands. Why would they be engaging this technology that we have no idea what it is? And like, I don't think the pilots knew. My theory, it could be a agency that works for the government, like a private contractor that has crazy technology, and they're testing their technology, and they're not giving any information to the government that they're testing it. And whilst testing it, the government runs into it. They ask their higher ups if they can engage, and the higher ups also don't know about it. So then they do decide to engage. That's one theory.
Yeah, some of these things are so top secret that even the people high up in the military don't know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
But then what would the use case for them be? Just in case we get into a war, we have this on standby?
Yeah, there's people with very high clearances that know about this technology.
Yeah.
But you have to be pretty high up to know it.
And another thing is, if they can track them well enough to hit them with a missile, how can they claim that they don't know what it is?
Yeah. And also, some of these things fly so quickly and can turn on a dime. They're just, so maybe these are not those things.
That's actually kind of leads into another question.
Because there's more than one type of objects that they're showing.
So you think it's kind of these are different kind of phenomenons that are going on?
Yeah, I think some of it's us. Some of it is very high clearance stuff that only a few people know about. Then some of it, I think, is otherworldly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very confusing. It's like there's so much going on, and look at all the different types of entities they say there are. Mm-hmm. The tall grays and the Nordics, and it's almost like there's so much going on. It's confusion.
Yeah. And that's why it's almost frustrating to try to dive into this kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like there's just so many angles that you have to take into account that it's like, I don't know how you could piece it together without spending like every minute of your life diving into it and investigating new videos coming out and investigating everything.
Yeah. And some of the stuff is probably bogus. It's AI or whatever. Yeah. But I am sure that some of this stuff is real, and I'm not saying space aliens, but it's something that we're not familiar with.
100%. And it's technology that I think may be not created by us, but almost like we found it.
Right. And reverse engineered it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then here, let's take a look at the last video. And this is the one that was just released. Actually, before we get into it, let me give some information on this one as well. This is released just 5 days ago. And it was recorded in 2020. And an infrared sensor aboard an unspecified military platform was able to record this.
Oh, it's got a light. It's blinking.
I don't see any blinking.
Oh, it blinked once. But wow, that's certainly weird looking.
And they're able to zoom in a lot.
Yeah. Oh. And you can really kind of see the three-dimensionalness of it.
And how it's not shaped as any kind of flying thing would be shaped, like wings and something. And there's no trace of anything propelling it. So this one is also a very interesting one. And this was just out a couple of days ago. They just released this one. And it was filmed in 2020. And it almost looks like a almost organic-like compound with its weird shape. It's very strangely shaped.
Yeah, it's not like the classic flying saucer.
Yeah. exactly. What would be more concerning? Finding out these are non-human, or finding out that another country has technology operating around the U.S. military that we can't identify?
I think it's highly unlikely that this is another country. I think the U.S. government, we pour a lot of money into the military, and I think there's a very low likelihood that this would be another country.
But the idea that I would
technology.
have, or like I guess the argument I would make to that is China has so many people and they
Yeah.
spend a lot of money on research and science type programs. And I don't know if the military would even fall into this kind of category of something moving without gravity, or like using its own gravity, it seems, like moving without propulsion. So it's like, which one do you think would be more concerning to like figure out as a fact? I know that it's non-human, or I know that it's another country.
I think it would be more concerning if it were another country. We'd know that it's Chinese or, I don't know, Russian. I don't know. But I don't think it is because remember several years ago that what they thought was a weather balloon, which was really a spy kind of balloon that went across the country. And then finally we shot it down. But it was so easy to shoot down. It was so obvious. This is not normal, what we see here.
Yeah, the other one that we watched to begin with, like it took a Hellfire missile and didn't explode. It did look like it broke into a couple pieces, but it looked almost dented afterwards, but it was still flying.
That's so strange. You know, I would be more concerned if we knew it was another country, but I don't think that's what we know. I don't think that's what we'll find out. I think it's going to be there's some kind of otherworldly thing that we're seeing here, and it's different. Everyone is different.
Yeah.
It's so strange. You'd think there would be a common type of vehicle, but they're not.
Yeah, I think it's almost lends credit to a anti-gravity or like an anti-gravity system that has been developed. But it's hard to describe how that works. If you can apply anti-gravity to an entire object, and even if it breaks apart, it still works together. This technology is so far beyond anything that the public even could think about, and it for sure exists.
You know, up until the 60s, 70s, right around the 70s, there was such a progression of technology advancement. And then it kind of slowed down. I mean, yeah, we had the space shuttle, but we never went to the moon again. I don't think everything just stopped.
Yeah.
I think development was still going on, but it wasn't really being advertised. I think there's stuff that we have that would blow our minds. In fact, I think Congress had brought that up. Well, although they're saying it has something to do with aliens, and that could be the case too. But I see that the progression of advancements in technology kind of slowed down there after the 70s. You know, it didn't really keep progressing like it did before that.
And it's also interesting to think that if we don't know what it is, we're firing missiles at it.
Yeah, now why would they do that?
Yeah, because imagine it is an alien civilization, and the first thing they get in contact with us, we're shooting missiles at them.
All you want to do is make them mad.
Yeah.
You know, that's I can't believe that. But
While they possess technology that's clearly far out of our capabilities,
Right.
if it is outside of our technology.
yeah.
It seems like if there were aliens and they do come to the Earth, we would be so dead. Because
Yeah.
our government would not be able to be friendly with them. They would shoot them, and then the aliens would respond accordingly. Unless they're so far advanced and so far upon or like beyond us that they look at us with pity, and then
And
we
they're
shoot
laughing.
them. Yeah, we shoot missiles at them, and they're like, these poor animals don't know what's going on.
Right.
I guess one final question would be, which would bother you more, learning that the government has known what these are for years, or learning that they genuinely don't know what they are? I think the latter.
Learning that they really don't know what it is.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
they really didn't have an idea of what this is.
Because they keep things from us all the time. So that
Exactly.
would not
be new.
surprise me whatsoever.
I agree. But if they didn't have any clue what these are, wow, that would be fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah. It would be a little troubling. And I think that might be the case with many of these objects that they're seeing.
And to say that it is something out of this world that they discovered, then why would it only be in the hands of American government?
I don't think it is.
Yeah, you think all government, or not all, but you think major governments of the world had to have had an inkling of this, or like know what it is? And
there's
probably
been
have possession?
sightings in other countries, Russia, different.
It's interesting, though. I did see a map, and I'll see if I can pull it up on screen. But there's been a map of showing the areas of UAP sightings, and the U.S. is lit up like a Christmas tree, and almost every other country is not. Like, it's scattered, like, oh, here's one, here, there's one. But in the U.S., across the U.S., it is lit up like a Christmas tree.
I think a lot of that are kind of false positives.
Yeah.
They're drones, right?
Yeah, I think these are just reports, so it's not even like included. But it's definitely far more fascinating than the previous releases that there have been, because those just look like lights in the sky, like who knows what it is. It's just a light in the sky. There's no detail to it. What is that? But these, there's clearly something to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen anything like that. I would be a little concerned if I saw that in the sky.
I would be too. If you made it this far and got anything out of it, we ask that you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share everywhere you possibly can. It helps us more than you know.